People not used to me standing on my stuff, it comes off to them as me being aggressive. People not used to me standing up for me. But people who know your heart, even if you do mess up in that moment, they not gonna hold that shit over you. You was never there for me. Like, it feels like you're sorting through like a bin of like lost and found items. Like,
I have never heard it. Let me know when to stop.
Thank you.
Have some Billy on in there, whatever.
Love it.
But what have you been up to lately? First of all, let me just go ahead and just introduce the podcast. How's it going, guys? It's Vic Ashton here for the story, not the fame. Today I'm with new guest, Koy.
Koy Kama, yes, it's me. No, just kidding.
How are you, Koy?
I'm good.
Let me get a quick introduction. Tell the people where have you been? I know people are missing you.
It's funny. Where have I been? At home. Okay, at home, homebodying it. But I've just been kind of like catching up with my life and in a sense of dealing with a lot of, I don't want to say dealing, I'm sorting out a lot of things that when I was younger, I should have probably been dealing with. But now that I'm older, it's like, it's kind of like this has to happen now so I can be able to like maintain and handle things that I want for myself. So I really just been taking the time to like work on myself and, learn me better. And I feel like by that I'll be able to give something better.
So you're
hopefully.
prioritizing currently.
Yes. That's the perfect word. I'm an over explainer, so hopefully.
No, definitely. We have time. Like explain as much as you want.
But that's the perfect word. I'm prioritizing me.
Why weren't you prioritizing in the first place? Like what would you say hindered you from doing that?
I didn't know myself and I was running away from myself because I just feel like I had a lot of pain.
Oh.
So I just, I used my artistic talents to kind of escape into a world, and that was beautiful. But when you start striving for a career, it's like, there's so many other elements that come with it, and it's just like I realized like I have to mentally be able to handle certain things that I can't even handle on a day-to-day with like some of my personal relationships. So it's like, if that's something I want to strive for, whether it's in a creative world or a business world, I need to learn this for myself, not just for myself, my child, things like that. I want to be able, I don't want my emotions and like certain things to hinder me or stop my opportunities, So I just wanted to take time to really like focus on myself, work on myself, sort my brain out. Cause I've just my entire life lived listening to what people told me I should be and how I should act. And I'm like, the only person that knows is me at the end of the day. I live my life. So yeah.
I mean, living up to society standards, that's a lot. Like, how do you deal with that?
I don't. It's pressure. And I think that's why I get into so much trouble with people, because I have my view and I'm very adamant about how I feel about things. But at the
Not
same
willing
time,
to conform.
Yeah, I don't want to conform. But, I feel like when I have people in my life that I really trust, because it's like rare that I really like trust and confide in people, I take their opinions and their words so like in high regard. It's kind of like sometimes it's like I may not feel what you're saying, but I trust you. So it's like I don't want to not follow your advice, and then it's like I fail. But then sometimes I'm following people's advice and it's like it's not making me happy. It's not working in my benefit. So it's just like it's hard because I want to make the people around me proud. They see so much potential in me. They want me to do so much with myself, and I see that for myself too. But everyone has their own time, their own place to go on their path. So I just had to realize, I can't live for other people, and I can't always make them happy. So I'm kind of like a little bit in my villain era, but not like I'm in my villain era. It's more or less just like, I'm doing me, and if you don't like it, then you don't gotta rock with me right now, because I'm bulldozing anything over to learn myself right now.
Like, there's nothing wrong with being selfish.
Yes.
Like, it's not a bad trait to be selfish, especially when something's benefiting you.
Yeah.
It's definitely not a bad trait.
Yeah. And I'm kind of learning, like, when you learn to be selfish, it's like, I feel like by being selfish and pouring into me, I have more real love to give to others, because I feel like my love is such an overflowing, but I have a bad habit of pouring so much into people I have nothing left for myself, and that's my problem, because then I'm angry at everyone else when they don't pour back.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so it's like, now I'm kind of like a lot more selfish in the sense of I'm gonna just do for me first the first time, even if I don't, a part of me feels guilty or whatever, like, So I don't come back later and feel like I gave you so much and you didn't do nothing for me.
So
Yeah.
when it's not reciprocated, does that make you feel a certain type of way? Especially when it's people that's close to you.
Vexed. Vexed. It makes me feel vexed. That's when my demon come out. Honestly, I'm huge on equality and fairness.
Mm,
I'm like a type of person. You know, don't make drama about stuff I do. If I don't complain about you, who you are is who you are.
exactly.
When I meet people, I'm very aware of people's flaws, but everyone has flaws, and I don't see the point of like emphasizing that. I'd rather like focus on your good traits and nurturing those things.
Mm.
But in that same sentence, if I'm nurturing you, that's fine. Just whatever your flaws are, don't bring that to my doorstep. Because the second you bring it to me, now we're gonna have a problem. And when I hold you accountable, you need to be ready to grow. And if you're not ready to grow, then it's just like I can't rock with you. I
Exactly.
respected you. I let you be who you are. I love you. And I'm willing to help you grow. But you're not gonna treat me and just walk over me
Any type of way,
any type of way.
exactly.
Yeah.
How's that affected your artistic career?
Uh, it's just like I guess it's affected in a way where it's hard for me to. Sometimes I feel like, and I don't know if women go through this in general, but it's kind of one of those things I think where they say women can be like bitchy, but it's like
Ooh.
we're being like, I don't want to say we're being bitchy or it's like us in our eyes trying to be a boss, but it's like, standing up for yourself sometimes I feel like, or just asserting myself in certain
Empowerment.
situations.
Empowerment.
Yes, empowering
Hmm.
myself. I feel like sometimes can lead to people thinking like, I just know it all and I'm just like controlling, and it's just like that makes me feel like I don't want to open up and ask people opinions on anything. Like I'm just going to purely do it on my own, but that's not always good either. You have to have a healthy balance, and that's once again goes back to me learning myself, being able to differentiate, you feel me, like okay, I can take this, listen, but that doesn't mean I have to internalize it and take that advice. I just listen, and if I like it, I'll take it. If I don't like it, it's just like thanks.
Exactly. Does that go back to where people always say, if you're the smartest person in the room, you should probably not be in that room. Like having that same type of feeling. Like
Yeah.
if I don't feel like I could express myself as much as I possibly can, and you're able to reciprocate and articulate the words that I'm saying in a very well productive type of way. Like if me being me makes you feel belittled, then
Mhm.
what am I doing in this room?
Mhm.
Like
Exactly.
a lot of people feel that way though.
Yeah.
A lot of people are. I don't want to put a title on it. Small minded.
Yes,
Is
I
that the
think that
right? Does that put the
yeah,
yeah?
because I honestly wouldn't know what else to call it.
Without giving offense, without giving offense, of course. Like I never try to offend people, but I
Exactly.
but I work in a career where I have to tell people
Mhm.
a non-biased, honest truth.
Mhm.
There's no time to actually sugarcoat things because it's on the brink of life and death. So I kind of treat the same thing with like people that I'm around.
Yeah, I feel the same way. I think I'm just like so. I've gone through so many like different types of relationships and things like that. That when it comes to relationships now in my life, I'm just very like how you said, like just life or death. Like I have to be honest with you because I just want the most
Mhm.
honest, genuine, transparent relationship between
Exactly.
us. So I'm not into the whole like let's hide ourselves in certain aspects of ourselves, and then the mask is slightly coming off, as the years go by. Like, no,
Slowly
let's
but
just,
surely.
yeah, let's just put it all on the table here. Like, I'm rough around the edges, but I'm willing to accept you. Let's just work at it.
One thing about time, time tells all. At the
Yeah.
end of the day, time always tells all.
Yes, that is true.
All right. Good question. Let me ask you about yourself. Do you consider yourself an artist currently?
Yes and no. I feel like I will always consider myself an artist because I feel like that's just my God given talent. Like that, and that's something I came
Hmm.
upon this year, because when I took, and I don't want to say I took a break. When I first
Mhm.
took what people probably perceived as me taking as a break, I actually quit music. Like I
Oh,
completely decided to
stopped?
stop. Yeah, I was in a relationship and I just really wanted to commit myself to that. And, I'm really into love and things like that. So there was something that I like, it really affected me in a really hard way. It was like I lost a huge part of like who I was as a person. So like now coming back to it, I couldn't even talk about that without like bursting into tears and like having a whole meltdown. But now it's like before I would be like, oh, I would never go back to music. I've kind of grown away from that. I've done new things, but now it's just like, I'm always going to be an artist, whether it's music, fashion, styling, just taking care of myself and being whatever I am. I'm always going to be that. And that's where my heart is. That's what I love to do creatively for myself. So I will say I'll always be an artist, but do I participate in art currently? No, I don't. Like, I'm just too focused on building a good foundation for myself. So when I do take that back on, I just feel secure because when I started doing any form of art, I had no security. I was like a runaway child, just out here being very free spirited, getting it out the mud. And it's like I'm older now. I have a child. I'm just a completely different person. So it's like my stability, my foundation, my peace of mind comes first, and then everything else.
Has to.
Yeah.
It has to. I mean, being an artist is it's a chance. It
Mhm.
takes a chance, but you have that freedom.
Mhm.
I always felt like being an artist, you have to not stick with social norms. It's not
Mhm.
like you don't have to, but it's not a requirement for you
Mhm.
to actually stick to social norms. Social norms. You don't have to follow certain guidelines or rules. Like you're free to be an
Mhm.
artist. That's the whole
Mhm.
point of actually being an artist, and that's why a lot of people steer or are drawn to the artistic values.
Mhm.
Like I don't think you have to be any type of apologetic or anything like that because you took a little hiatus
Mhm.
because you're always going to come back to it. That's personally what I
Yeah.
feel.
I think I just feel like sometimes I'll feel guilty because, like how you said, people will be asking me, like, when are you going to make music again? When are you going to, like, why aren't you modeling? And, that's like something when I was taking my break that also did affect me a lot because people see so much in me. And it's like, I feel like I'm letting, people down. I feel like I'm not going to my full potential or actualizing myself. And it's just like it sucks because it's like I want to do the best that I can. I know I have these talents. The same way people
Mm,
see me, I feel about myself, but
exactly.
I'm in my body, so it's like I know what goes on in here, and I
Exactly.
know how like I need to fix this before I can do that, And just in general, I'm just not that type of artist that's just like exactly what you said. I love artistry because you have so much, like it's like a blank canvas. You have the freedom to be whoever you want to be, but I feel like people forget that in art, and it's like everyone is kind of trying to fit into a mold of what they think an artist is now, and I'm so like myself. It's like I just look at it almost like high school cliques, and it's like I fit in with things like that. So it's like I'm my own person. I'm very much a person that's like I need to experience life. I need to have real experiences to create. Like it's coming from something real in me. It's not just no no no, no like bullshit. But I will say,
Because there's a lot of bullshit out there.
yeah, I will say though, I am learning to have more fun with
Mm.
it in a sense of like yes, it was fun when I was young
I
when I
was
was
going to say,
younger.
wasn't it fun when you started?
It was fun when I started, but I feel like when I started, like I said, like I was going through so much. I was like depressed, I was angry, I was bitter. So it's like that was my catalyst to express myself, to get those emotions, to like almost like my therapy. So it was fun.
Mm.
Yes, I had the freedom to be artistic and express myself, but now it's fun in a sense of I'm not angry. I'm not in that place where, my actual life is just like so crazy and unstable. So it's like I'm in a good place. I'm happy and I'm like, nurturing myself and building on that. I don't really have anything bad to talk about or like something,
Mhm.
like super ambitious to go for because I'm happy with what I'm doing right now. So anything that I do when it comes to art, it's literally just like to have fun and just to like be free. Like one thing that I'm really into when it comes to music, because that's mainly what I'm working on in the back, I guess, behind the scenes for myself is music. But I'm really into dance music, and when I say dance music, kind of like
Oh. Not like house or
no, I would say something
EDM?
a little bit not like EDM, but like kind of like Central C, Pink Pantherist types of vibes. In the it's
Mm.
different from the sound I've been doing
Yeah.
before, but it's just like when I hear music like that, it just makes me like feel so free, and I just want to dance and not care about anything. So I've really gotten into a place where I started doing that, and even my process of making music, I don't write as much as I used to. I'm more of just a pop on a beat and just record something
You
freestyle.
freestyle?
Yeah, like just let things flow, harmonize, and then like I'll just listen back to it and just piece things together. So it's like a more just natural process, and I did that purposely because I wanted to get back to certain roots of myself. Because like I said, when I stopped doing music, I lost a huge part of myself, and I know I'll never get that person back. But I can
Mm.
also acknowledge that this is something that gave me so much joy, and like outside of my son and people that I love, that was the one thing that tethered me in this world. So it's like
Mm.
to not dive back into that and rebirth something new from that. Like I just feel like I don't know, I would be missing out.
Mhm.
Like I don't have to be the old Koy, but I can also be
More refined.
yes, exactly, like a
Mhm.
refined version of that. Like I've grown, I'm different, and I
Mhm.
do still have things to say and things to share. But I'm also, like I said, like more happier too. So it's just like it doesn't have to be so heavy. as it was before. When I listen to my old music and I'm like, people love it and I'm happy people love it, but it's so heavy and it's so sad, like the things that I say, and I'm just like, I can't even relate to that anymore, you know? Like I just can't. So I'm like ready to like, just give good vibes, really.
But you're always going to maintain a core value. What would you say is a core value that you still want to maintain from the point that you first started to what you're currently trying to do currently? Like,
I
what's one of
just
the core values?
I think I just want things. My core value in anything is that I just want things to be real, in a
Mm,
sense of like you being completely authentic yourself, and not to say be unapologetic, because people need to understand that we come from different places and we all have different views and we can learn and grow from different things. Just because somebody said this doesn't mean they can't experience something or read something and change their mind about things. So I just want people to be real, and I just want, when it comes to my music, to be a reflection of who I really am, and not like me trying to get people to like me anymore, or trying. I'm not trying to save people anymore either. Like with my music, like before, it's like I'm so depressed and I want to heal the world with my music, and now it's like I don't, honestly, I love everybody. I want everyone to heal, but that's a self
mhm.
journey that I had to do, and I know everyone has to do it themselves. I can't heal you. I can be something that you use to like sympathize with and relate to, and make you feel better, like quell your emotions in the moment, but I can never heal the things that you're going through. So all I can do is just give you something that I guess is just real, and maybe you relate to it, and that inspires you to be more honest with yourself. And
Because healing is personal.
yeah, I do that as a friend too, friend,
Yeah.
a spouse. I just want things to be like real, and it's hard because a lot of people I don't think are as,
Accepting.
and as much as people say they want real shit, people do not like real
Are they really
shit.
going to accept that?
Yeah, they don't like it. And it's hard, but
Mm-mm.
sometimes you got to be that black sheep, and you
Yeah.
got to be the one, plant seeds, even if it's up to people if the seed grows, but you can
Yeah.
still plant your seed. That's God's given right to you, and that's what you're here,
Mhm.
I feel like we're here to do. So regardless if someone accepts that from me or not, I'm still going to do my
Exactly.
duty.
Yeah, we can't really stop anyone from thinking the way that they or feeling the way that they feel. Like you
Mhm.
cannot control somebody's feelings. I
Mhm.
learned that throughout everything that I've been through. You
Mhm.
cannot control a person's feelings or their reactions. How
Mhm.
they choose to react is just how they choose to react,
Mhm.
based off whatever they grew up in, based off of the experiences that they've been through. They're
Mhm.
going to choose to react however they choose to react. I
Yeah.
mean, my thing is, I would like to give different options. Like if I'm telling you or explaining something a certain type of way, I don't want to just explain it that way. I'm going to
Mhm.
try to, okay, so which part of my conversation or which part of my topic or which part of my word choice did you not really like?
Mhm.
Let me change that up and express it a different type of way.
Mhm.
Do you like this?
Mhm.
Okay, I can explain it this way. Okay, maybe I could try explaining it this way. But at a certain point, if a person is just not accepting it at all, it's kind of like I know that, okay, I'm pretty much wasting my breath
Yeah,
here.
exactly. That is, I understand that so well, and it's
Pretty
so
much wasting
annoying.
my
But
breath here.
I think people just need to get to a point where they're able to agree to disagree, because I just feel like we don't have to agree on everything, and we don't have to
Mhm.
see everything as the same thing. But I think people should recognize, hey, this is my perspective. This is where I come from. So this is just how I feel based off my experiences, and I'm just telling you. So if this occurs, you can understand where I'm coming from, and you know why I'm acting or speaking on things the way that I am, and vice versa. I want the open floor for you to do the
Exactly.
same thing, so I know.
Exactly.
And it's just,
Hmm.
it opens things from, I'm all about dialogue,
Hmm.
like let's have an open dialogue, because it doesn't matter if what you say goes against what I say. I personally appreciate people that are opposite of me, because like I just like
Are you an antagonist?
maybe, but
No,
I
because I do the same exact thing. Like I could fully agree with a conversation, but it's just the antagonist in me that just want
yeah.
to choose the opposite way, just to carry the conversation a little
Yes.
bit more.
I love to debate about things. Like I love to debate and just question people's like,
Hmm.
thought process about stuff, because I like
People
to
call
open
that
the mind.
argumentative.
Yeah, people are argumentative, but I feel like people just want to cling to their beliefs sometimes. And that's fine. There's nothing
Traditional.
wrong with having your beliefs, but at the same time, like, some people are just saying things. It's like you don't have to take what I say and make that your life, but I'm just saying there's other options and things in the world. So, you can either stay in this one place, or you can, maybe if you ever want, hey, I'm just saying, there's this other option that if you ever feel to explore it and find out for yourself, experience for yourself.
You
How you
have
going to know if you like something
options.
or not if you
You
don't
have
experience it?
options.
Yeah, like don't be so scared. I don't know. But I'm that type of person. Maybe I'm a type
Mm.
of person, I like to experiment and try things, and maybe people like to
Mm.
be very like secure in what they're doing. So
Complacent.
I think maybe sometimes it could come off like abrasive for me to push people to grow sometimes or try different things, because it's like, who am I to do that, you know?
Yeah.
If they want to do what they want to do. But I guess it just sucks for me because it's like, you know, I want to grow with my people and my family, my village,
Exactly.
but sometimes it feels like you have to journey alone, you know?
No, not really. Not really. Not really.
I
Because as vast as the world is, there's going to be so many people. And I'm saying this because I'm in the medical field. I see a whole lot of different people. Like, before I even finish my sentence, and I'm a very articulate person, so I'm like, nobody really can keep up with my. But for to see me seeing so many different people, like dozens on dozens of people that can finish my sentence as I'm
Really?
speaking, it's like, oh, so you know where I was going to go with this topic choice. They're like,
Really?
yeah, I understand that, and they just move on forward. And now we're moving in a conversation that's like way more advanced than a regular simple conversation. That's like, wait till the conversation ends with a period, then move on to the next topic choice. And it's like, I don't know. It's just different to try to explain that.
I don't think I've really experienced that too much yet.
You
Like
have to be outside.
surface, oh yeah, I don't be outside that much. I definitely be gatekeeping myself. I feel like surface level things, you know, like definitely can, you know, people can definitely like get me and finish my sentences with things or me theirs, because you know that's like easy. Of course I'm like a normal person. I look at the internet and watch TV too, but
So
like
you definitely can have a conversation about
exactly.
relationship issues or what's going on Entertainment Weekly.
I feel like though with deeper things, like maybe even like topics we're touching on right now, sometimes I feel like maybe people don't even like they never even thought that deep about it. So it's like when I have these conversations, sometimes I really be feeling like I'm the smartest person in the room, and maybe that's the narcissist in me, maybe,
And that's
but
okay.
I just be like, wow, that's how you think. Okay.
And that's okay. Me personally, I like to wait till a person is super bored, because that bored topic conversation is like, I get more out of people when they're super bored. I don't know why. I don't know why people are like this. But it's like when their brain runs out of things to say, they come up with so much different things to say.
No, I definitely get that.
But back to artistry. What motivates you daily?
My son, and just attaining the things that I want for myself. Like I don't want to, and this is so cliche, but I guess I just don't want to depend on. I mean, I don't mind depending on people around me because I feel like that's a part of your strength. You feel me? Like the people in your life, if you're too afraid to depend on them, sometimes you're not using all the strength that you have, you know?
Utilizing the tools that's around you.
Exactly. So I don't want to say like, you know, I don't want to be dependent on people. I don't have a problem with that when it's needed, but also I don't want to, you know, depend on certain things to basically like hand me certain things that I want for myself. I don't, because I don't want that shit thrown in my face later. That is my top pet peeve.
Certain people would do that, but not everybody do that. But certain people would like bring it back to like, remember that one time I did this for you? It's like, really? Yes, I remember.
So with that being said, my motivation is just I know I want certain things for myself. I have a certain like in my it may not be perfect to the T of like what I want for myself. I don't know, but I know a generalization of like, you know, certain things that I want, and not just for myself, but for my son and when he grows up. And that is my inspiration every day, just to like, you know, get up and get it. And honestly, I like it. I like the grind of it. I used to live a totally different life where, you know, I had very much like free reign at some point to not work or not do certain things and be taken care of. So it's just like now having that experience and going through certain things and certain emotions, and now coming out on the other side, it's like, wow, I really appreciate, you know, the hard work of striving for what I want, because when I do get it, whether it's just one piece today and then I'm working for every little piece for the next 2-3 years, I feel really good when I finally get that piece. Like the work that I put in for that shit feels so amazing. So yeah, I mean, that's just really I don't know. I guess it's just like a dopamine thing. Like, it's like you're winning a prize, like all this hard work to win that one prize. And I'm just like, that's what inspires me. It feels good because I can't say nobody handed this to me. I did this on my own. So it's like, it makes me feel very bossy.
I mean, having a team is pretty good too.
Yeah, having a team is good. But I don't want to say I don't work well with people. People don't work well with me. People love me, and it's very simple. They love me or they hate me. There's
the right type of people.
There's no in between. So it's just like, and I'm very much a person like when I feel something and it's real to me, I don't care if you love or hate me in the moment. I'm gonna say what I have to say, and that's my truth. And I'm saying this truth so you know where I stand, and from this point you can go where you want with it.
People who are honest with themselves will accept that. People who are honest with themselves, if they're honest with themselves.
Yeah. So I don't know.
You mentioned your son a few times in this conversation. Tell me about
Yeah.
that relationship between him. How is that?
I love him. I feel like that is like my soulmate puzzle piece. Like we work so well together. I really feel like we're like an old pair of like grandparents or something. But it's really funny. We bother each other. We're super loving to each other. You know, we get on each other's nerves. But that's like my roadie. You know, he's like my
Oh.
day one. Yeah. So that's really, I don't know. I do it for him because I feel like my son is literally like when I was going through really hard times in my life, that was
Hmm.
the little bit of innocence and purity I had left at that time. So
Hmm.
when I look at him, it's just like that's almost like how they say like, you know, your inner child, like that's my inner child outside of me that I'm able to raise and nurture and things like that. So, you know, I really appreciate it because he gets me and I get him and we're so similar sometimes. That's why we butt heads, but that's why it's like I know you're for me because only me and you could like understand and cope with each other like this. Like we were just meant for each other.
Hmm. Any relationships that's even close to that?
Hmm. No, I don't
Hmm.
think so. I mean, like I've had like maybe in the
Business
past.
partnerships, anything.
Um, I would just say like maybe a past relationship. I felt like that before,
Mhm.
but you know things change. So you, not to say you think that you know someone and things change, but like, well, I guess yeah, you think you know someone and you feel like oh this person is my person and it's whatever, but you know things change and so it's like I don't even really know you anymore. Yeah, that's good.
I was trying to eyeball you.
I'm getting lost in the sauce.
No, no, definitely. Like I don't know. Like I said, like I was saying this before. Like time pretty much tells everything.
Hmm.
Like I pretty much stay consistent with like what I have going on in
Hmm.
my personal life, whether it's work or my career path or my actual business ventures. Like I already try to stay consistent in that. So nothing outside of that can really steer me away from my
Hmm.
career path
I love that for
or
you.
my fun path. I
Hmm.
guess I want to call it fun. It's not really a hobby. It's something that's like fun to me
Hmm.
because when I'm behind the screens, I'm not really thinking. Like
Yeah.
it's me on autopilot because
Hmm.
it's like something I love to do.
Hmm.
But nobody could really stop or hinder that.
Hmm.
Hmm.
And I love that for you. That's like
Hmm.
something that I'm working on.
Hmm.
And like, you know, in the midst of that, like I don't go outside. I'm very, like I said, very much gatekeeping
I'll be honest.
myself.
There's nothing outside.
Yes.
You are
But
not missing anything. I'm outside. There's
oh trust
nothing
me.
outside.
Because the few times that I do be outside, I be outside I be like this. Disassociating, like, oh my God, why did I even come here? But the few times that I have gone
It
outside,
depends. It depends who you're with, but there's really nothing outside.
no, yeah, I agree. But the few times that I have gone and I feel like, you know, I've made connections, even if they lasted for a short period of time, you know, I feel like I've met people with, for instance, like this, you even saying that to me right now,
Mm.
that's something that's like I've been in the back of my head that whispers to me. And I know that's like intuition, God, spirit, whatever you want to say, but that's something that like I know I need
Divine
to work
timing.
on. Exactly. So it's
Mhm.
like I'm having experiences where maybe I'll meet someone and we'll hang out, or I'll 1 second I meet this person, or just having this conversation. And, you know, like that's all I really need. You know, I'm not looking to like network like that. I'm looking for like just I guess like waiting for little moments where God's talking to me. He's
Mhm.
guiding me towards more wholeness in myself. And a part of that is knowing who I am at my core and not allowing just because I care about these people so much and I want to make them proud as much as I want to make me proud, not to let what they expect of me, want from me, or think is right for me pull me in so many different ways. Because that
Exactly.
was a huge part of like my turmoil in here, you know? So I'm really trying to work on that. And like you said, like not let conversations or experiences deter
Hmm.
me from my path because I'm so emotional. Sometimes it's like
Oh,
I just
really?
yes, I'm a
You
very
don't seem like
emotional.
a
Really?
no. Like you,
Really?
pretty much strong, straightforward. Doesn't really seems like, especially with this conversation, doesn't seem like anything would steer you. Nothing would tick you. It
Really?
doesn't seem like. Well, it's just
From the yeah,
conversation.
yeah,
It's
ask the
just a
people
conversation.
that had experience with me. They'll be like, that girl, mm-mm, mm-mm.
But it's just is that just their perspective
Yeah.
perspective of you?
I think it's just because with some people, I've actually been like so vulnerable with them, and maybe they've seen me at certain places in my life where I've been very low,
Mhm.
that they hold on to a certain view of me, and they don't like allow themselves to see me for the person I am now, for who I've grown into. Like, you may have seen me when I was down bad, and that's cool. I respect that. But don't hold that over my head, and don't think because just because you saw that person, that is who I am, and that's who you can continue to
Exactly.
treat me as, because that's not me no more. I'm not that weak person.
Preach.
So that'd be my problem,
Preach.
and I feel like that's why sometimes it be a lot of conflict, because it's like I'm not I people not used to me standing on my stuff. People not used to me standing up for me, and it comes off to them as me being aggressive and me being rah 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 and whatever.
But that's
And
not the case.
it's not the case. But and
Like, you've seen one personality. Okay,
mhm,
that was personality at this point in time,
mhm,
but that personality is not me as an entire whole.
mhm,
There are definitely more layers, more
mhm.
aspects of me as a person.
Yeah, and I want the people around me as I grow to, there's I've had like within the last year or so these experiences where there's people that I just spent like a certain amount of time with in my life and that viewed me a certain type of way, and then there's people that maybe knew me before a certain time in my life or just met me, and the comparison of how these people view me and these people view me, and I'm like,
Too different.
you think I'm hell on earth, and these people look at me like you're such an inspirational person. And I'm starting to learn, like, I would listen so much to overhear, and I would let it mess me up so much and make me feel like so bad about myself. Like, it was crippling, and
Hmm.
then like once I kind of found, it made me feel like, wow, so I'm not crazy. Like, I can't express myself and people not feel like I'm always like bitching or coming at them crazy, or I'm not an evil person, and that has started to heal me in a way where I trust myself now. Like, I'm not those things that these people said I was and tried to make me believe and make me conform to, and I did at some point. I conformed to
But
it so
why? Why would
much
you intake that?
because I just had a lot of trauma from growing up, and I guess I just had a lot of, since I was younger, feelings of like I'm not good enough. I never do anything right. So it's like, I'm constantly looking for praise. I'm constantly looking for, to do something right and make these people happy so they can finally be like, oh, thank you, Nisa, I love you. That's all I really wanted. Like, a thank you. I love you. I appreciate you. But I just feel like everything was just like, do better, do better. Like, you're not good enough. You're this type of person. You're this. Like, it's just constant beat down. So it's like, now that like I said, I've had these small experiences of people loving on me and and like, actually seeing me the way that I see myself inside. Like, once I kind of was like, I don't want to carry this narrative anymore. I don't want to, I had to cut a lot of stuff off. I had to be alone for a long time. And when I find it's like, I'm not carrying this narrative with me, I'm not going to believe that. And obviously it was hard because I would relapse. I would still have those thoughts and still struggle with that. But like I said, those people that really seen me and like, it's cool to know people, even if you knew them from when you were little to grown as fuck now. But it's different between being friends with people for a long time and knowing their personality and knowing someone's heart. Certain people know my heart, bro. Like, they know my heart.
That part.
So it don't matter if when we talking about something, I raise my voice or I talk in a certain type of way. And trust me, I do my best to respect people. That's something that I always want to do. But people are not perfect. You can't expect people to be perfect all the time. We're human. So it's like sometimes we
Exactly.
go mess up. But people who know your heart, they're not, even if you do mess up in that moment, they're not gonna hold that shit over you
You're not
to the
gonna
point.
judge that.
Yeah, like to the point it's like, oh, they demonize you now, or and y'all fall out, and now it's like I'm trying to make everybody hate you and look at you some type of way. That's not right. It's like, bro, like I can't. You was never there for me. You was
The
never
person
really
should have
real to
never been
me.
there in the first place.
Exactly. So it's like, I just want to go more into that because that's helping me, like I said, like become more crystallized in myself and know, like, there's people out here that love me for me and see me how I see myself. So I'm just going to continue to feed into that. And naturally, I migrate more towards those people. And the people that don't see me like that, you just not for me. Yeah, like, you don't got to be here. Like, that's
You
it.
don't have to be here.
But it'd be the craziest part about people like that, because it'd be
Mm.
people like that that will say so much shit about you and still want to be around you, still want you to talk to
That's the
you,
thing. Like,
still looking
what's
for
the
you to. So
purpose?
it's like, yeah, if you
What's the
feel,
purpose?
if
Like, are you shooting yourself in the foot?
literally, so I don't be getting it.
No, it's human nature. People could only compact so much in their
Yeah,
whatever process type of mind. It takes a lot. It takes a lot for a person to grow and develop more.
yeah, that's something I'm learning
And not
too.
everyone has that. But then again, there's a lot of people who does have that. You got to be outside to see. But Mm.
Yeah.
Mm.
Nobody want to be sorting through all these people. I used to say like going outside sometimes feels like,
Did you say nobody wants to sort?
yeah, like it feels like you're sorting through like a bin of like lost and found items. Like
I have never heard anybody express
I'm not trying to
the
sort through
human
that bin.
experience as sorting the bin.
Yeah, like I'm not trying to be sorting that. I don't care. Mm-mm.
No, that's
That's why I be inside,
once again. There's nothing outside. Oh man, I'm in tears.
I'm dead.
For oh man, let me get this question out. I'm using that, you know.
Oh my gosh.
I'm not sorting through any individuals. I'm not sorting through people.
Yeah. 2024, we not sorting through
We are
people.
not sorting through
That's not
individuals.
happening.
All right, back to the interview. For a younger artist
Mhm.
just starting out, what would be some advice that you would give to them
I would just say,
navigating through all of this?
really, really, really stand your ground in
Hmm.
what you want, because there
Mm.
people are going
Mm.
to push you. Your friends, your like I don't know about family. I can't say that because I didn't have the experience of my family like being involved with me when I was doing art and stuff like that. But I
No,
feel like people they just want you to win.
family wasn't supporting.
Growing up younger, my family wasn't always involved in my life like that. So that like I said, like that added to certain things I had to
Mm.
go through growing up and reasons why I am the way I am. Well, not say I am, but I reacted in certain type of ways growing up as part of my trauma or story, whatever. But I've grown. I'm continuing to grow and heal from that. So it's like I said, that was a part, and it's not my story now. That was just the what is it? The pro what is it?
Pre-
Epilogue or prequel, whatever it's
prequel.
called. Yeah. But what was the question again? Oh,
A
to
young
younger
artist.
artists, yeah. So I would just tell them really stand their ground because something that I experienced a lot when I was coming up. I feel like one thing about me, and maybe this is why also I had a problem with sometimes dealing with people growing up. I really knew myself, but the thing about me is everything about me was so raw and uncut. It's
Mm.
not like I consciously was aware of the talent and my mind. I wasn't consciously aware of the power and strength I held in myself. So it's like I would just come up like, yeah, da, 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 da. Like I'm just rebellious and I'm just like, I'm gonna do me. But it's just like now I'm in a place where it's just like I know myself and I can do it in a graceful way. I don't have to
Mm.
rebel against everything or go against the grain. I can be graceful. I can flow with like the waves of life and things like that. I'm not trying to force things to happen for me all the time. It's like how we
Mm.
said, God's timing. But when I was younger, I just feel like people constantly, I know they wanted me to win. I know they seen so much in me, but it's like people will kind of push you to just do what is current, do what is cool, do what will work. And all I want to say is, it depends on the way you go about it because when I started music, it was about the art. Music now, and I respect it. At least people can come out now and say that this is a job for me. I'm making money. And I respect that. I like that way better than the portrayal of or under the guise of yeah I love music and I'm just doing and it's not always that. Like if you want to check, you want to check. Like I said, like I just feel like I like realness. That's my core value. Realness, being transparent, and even if you didn't know that at first, like maybe you started off with the intentions of fucking thinking you was doing it for the art, and then later you realize like, yeah, I just wanted that check. Sometimes that shit happen. You feel me? That's a part of the experience. But just always be real with yourself because we're always growing and things change. But yeah, I would just tell any younger artist, stand your ground on what you want for you. Don't let people try to make your image or create you into something, a character. People would always tell me it's a character. You got to sell a character. I'm not selling nothing. I am a human being. I am a person with experiences and pain and happiness that the only thing I need to do is make something that feels good to me that I wanted to share. And if you like it, you like it. If you don't, you don't. That's it.
Point blank. Period.
Yeah. I just feel like everyone wants to make everything into something to sell these days. And it's like, where's the love in that? We used to just do things because we liked it, because it was fun, and that was what we loved to do. Now it's like turn everything into some type of monetary thing. And when you turn something into monetary, it loses its like
Initial
purity,
value.
yeah, and like value,
Mm.
yeah. It's just like I don't want to do that, and that's a huge part also why sometimes I just couldn't deal with like the artist industry or like especially when I was younger, because especially like I was in a music group at the time too, so it's
Mm.
like at some point I was super like almost like in a way the head of like everyone.
Invested.
Yeah, so it's just like, it kind of is like, oh, it's on my back. I'm the one that's gonna make us pop off. And it's just like, y'all are pushing me to be something that's like, that's not me, bro. And if I gotta be like this, I don't want this to feel like a job. Like, this is not a job to me. This is my love. But like I said, besides my son and whatever family I have, that's my first love. And I'm not gonna turn my love and whore it out, prostitute it for freaking money. You feel me? Like, that's not real to me, and I would never want to degrade something so sacred, especially my feelings. That's my emotions. That's my real truth. Why would I do that? So
Well,
yeah.
people would not understand that at all.
Yeah.
I don't know. People are straight, whatever their motives are,
Mm-hmm.
whatever their intents are for themselves, whatever benefits them,
Mm-hmm.
that's what they're going to go with.
Mm-hmm. Just know what you're doing it for, and be
Mm-mm.
honest with yourself. But yeah, that's what I would really tell a younger version of me or any young adult.
Any coming up, yeah.
Yeah.
Do you feel like you ever have to filter yourself out just to conform a little bit to
Yes.
allow people to understand?
Yes.
Because a lot of people, they need certain type of filtration because you can't just give them all raw
I'm
all the
learning that.
time. Because being honest is
Hard.
what you want to do, and
Mhm.
it's difficult, of course, but it is what you want to do. But sometimes you can't give someone everything
Yeah.
all at once.
I think I was just listening to this song on the way over here, and one of the
Mm.
lines was, "The truth hurts more than a lie," and I think that's true. And that's like, obviously, I know that very much from firsthand experience. Like,
Talk about it.
the truth can really kill you. That shit will drive you crazy.
Talk about it.
That's some hard shit that I feel like. But I will say that
Mm.
the only thing I could give it scars you to some degree, but at the same time, it depends on your perspective of how you want to take it, because everybody's going through something that traumatized them in your life.
That's true, but a scar is a scar.
A scar is a
It does
scar.
not leave.
Yes, they don't leave. You'll always have that. But at the end of the day, it
Mm.
all goes back to your choice of your story.
Mm.
Are you going to let that be your story? Or is it going to be a part that happened and you grew from that?
But filtering is just like, are you losing a part of yourself just because you want to not dummy down for a person, but like,
I think you are losing a part of yourself. But like I said, that's what I'm still learning. So I couldn't even give you a real answer because I'm still struggling with that today.
There's a lot to take into consideration.
Yeah, I do.
Especially when talking to a certain group or a certain person.
Mm-hmm.
You want to make sure that you're like, I don't even know.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like you have to navigate it correctly, but at the same time, you're not trying to sugarcoat anything.
Yeah,
You
it's
don't want to
definitely
sugarcoat
definitely
anything.
like a tight rope to walk.
Mm.
But my gauges, I'm just learning is, I think right now, because I don't have the answer for that, but something that I think, and I don't know if this is good or bad, but it's just levels with people. And certain people, when I'm talking to them, I just watch the way they react, and it goes from there. Like, okay, I know I can't say certain stuff with you, certain things you're not ready to have that
That
open
conversation.
dialogue, yeah, or that conversation about. And some people, it's like, we can have it. Maybe I can see that it makes them uncomfortable. They don't really like that, but maybe they don't snap back or get so mad that it's just like, oh, like I feel like So it's just like, okay, but at least you could listen. So it's like, even the fact that's like, okay, there's like a little bit openness there. Like, that makes me feel like, okay, like I'm gonna just try, and maybe if we do have conversations like this, have a slower, maybe more patient, work on the words that I use. But it's all about receptivity on the party
Exactly.
side. I definitely gauge a lot of that off of watching the other people. I'm super observant about stuff like that, and that's how I gauge, like, if I can talk to you about real shit, if I can be an intermediate of maybe, or if I cannot. And if I cannot, a lot of those people I cannot have real shit with. You're not really in my life like that. Like, you're probably just an acquaintance or something, because I'm just not a surface level person. Like,
background characters, NPCs.
yes, NPCs, definitely. You're like the person that tells me where some golden rupees are in the grass. So
I almost choked.
yeah.
No, but no, like people are different. I was trying to find the right choice of words, but people are different. Every single individual, they're just different. Like catering to different type of people is definitely draining sometimes.
It is.
How do you regain your energy back?
Honestly, it's not hard for me.
Mm.
I'm very, because like I said, I'm super observant.
You're not
And
putting that much energy out in the first place.
yeah, well, I do, and that's my problem. I pour a lot into people, even if I just met you. If I feel connected to you, if I like you, I'm pouring into you. Period. That's just me.
And you could recharge?
Um, to be honest, I feel like the people that I pour into, majority of the time, I feel like it's like almost like a relationships for me. So it's like me and people have honeymoon phases. So when I'm dealing with people and I'm making them happy, that just makes me happy. So I never feel like I'm losing energy. You know, I never feel like I'm losing energy. But
It's
I
like a charged wild. Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah, we're like yeah. But I just feel like, you know, for me, it's not hard to deal with different people because I'm very observant, and you only have to tell me once something
Mhm.
bothers you for me to kind of be like, okay, I'm gonna do better on that. I'm gonna be
Mm.
aware of that because I care. So because I care and I want to keep this relationship, I want it to be a good relationship. I'm
Mm.
going to do what you're asking of me, as long as it's in the guidelines of being like
Yeah.
understandable. Like I'm like if you're telling me like something that's obviously detrimental to me or not gonna, it's unfair to me but fair for you, I'm not
Yeah.
gonna
Yeah.
do that. But you know, if it's just like you're telling like, you know, sometimes when you talk to me it's like very aggressive. It's like, okay, so that's fine. I'm gonna like try to be more aware of that now. So when I talk to you, you know, even if I do get a little aggressive, don't feel be scared to tell me like, hey, you know, you're kind of doing that thing. So I can, oh, okay, my fault, and bring it
I
back
was just
down.
gonna ask that because people do go back because that's what they're comfortable with. Like
Hmm.
this is my personality. I do understand that you want to be, spoken to this way or you don't like certain things, but sometimes a little bit of me is gonna slip back out.
Yes,
Like,
I respect that, but I also don't like people just saying, oh, that's just my personality,
are
because
they
I feel like
expecting you to just
when
keep
you
that?
deal with people,
Mm.
you should deal with people based on both of y'all personalities. You know, it's like
Mm.
you have to take in consideration who you are and
Mhm.
who they are, and how certain parts of your personalities like mesh and don't mesh. And if you can, like I said, if it's all about if you want that, if you like that person, whether it's romantically, platonically, family, if you want them there, you have to, you're gonna be, it doesn't feel like a sacrifice to adjust certain parts. Like that doesn't mean I can't be that person, but be that person with people that don't feel bothered by that. And
Mhm.
if I'm around someone that feels kind of bothered by maybe certain things that I do, like maybe they're not really into this, so they don't really pay attention. So I'm gonna get pissed every time they don't pay attention. They're not into that. So maybe I'll just share with the people that are into that. And if you're not into that, we can talk about different things, you know, like
Have
that's fine.
options.
Exactly. Options. So I just think people need to be more
Mhm.
and this is funny to say this because it's like, you know, I'm all about like in this era of like kind of being selfish with myself, but at the same time I feel like everything's a balance. So yes, be selfish with yourself. So when you're selfish with yourself, you're pouring into yourself, which means if your glass is full, you can pour into others. But also be considerate, be aware, and be caring for others. You know, when you have people in your life, if you like that, if it brings you joy, if it's something that makes you happy, be caring with that. You know, don't just be like, oh well, that's my personality, because that's not care. That's you basically saying I, that's like, in my opinion, being selfish. You know, you're not considering
Exactly.
the other person.
Mhm.
And if you care for them, why would you not want to consider them? You know, that, because I feel like when I love people, you're like a part of me. So to see you hurt is to hurt me, you know? But I don't know, not everyone feels like that. So,
No, it's definitely an attachment. Like it's a part of you. Like if you
hmm,
let somebody into your space, let somebody into your mindset
hmm,
or your conversational style, like they become a part of you. Like
hmm,
this is an extension of who you are,
hmm,
and vice versa. They're an extension of who you are
hmm,
because you're allowing that person to be inside of you.
yes.
So if like yes, I know I'm speaking to you in a certain type of way. I'm willing to do certain changes for you because I feel that you are willing to do the same thing for me.
Yeah. And people have to give people grace,
Mm,
patience. Things don't change overnight.
you don't.
You know, you have to allow people to make mistakes to, and also help people learn. Like I said, when people are in, have, you have people that say, well, we've lived certain ways for like what? I'm 28 now. I've lived certain ways for 28 years, you know? So if someone new comes in my life and, you know, there's certain things that I do that, you know, maybe rubs them the wrong way, but I care about them, I'm willing to work on it, but also give me time to learn and adapt to these new ways and behaviors with you. You feel me? Help me learn. In those moments that I'm doing those things, don't bash me. Don't be aggressive with me back, but maybe show me compassion and show me a way to, you know, guide me to a way where it's like, okay, I'm doing this right now in this moment. You know, like I'm doing what you're saying, that thing that you don't like. So I can become aware. I think it's just all being aware about stuff. I don't
Yeah,
know.
yeah, and we're not mind readers.
Yeah, literally.
We are not mind readers. Industry. What's one thing you love and one thing you hate about the industry?
I don't know if I even love anything about the industry. To be real, because you know when I see certain stuff, I'm gonna be real. I tell people all the time, I don't respect that shit.
Mm,
And sometimes that's a huge reason that also in some type of degree holds me back from even
mm.
putting out music.
It's cutthroat.
Yeah, because it's like one, I know the level that I reached before when I was a young adult. And I know
Potential.
who I am now, where I could go with my talents. And it would be probably very easy for me. But my thing is, like I said, I like realness, and I don't like to be, and I don't know if it's because like I had issues with my parents growing up, so it's like a trauma thing, but I don't like to be told what to do. I'm open, like if I feel it and what you're saying sounds like resonates up here, even if it's like not something that I've experienced before, because when I hear truth, I hear truth. When people come into my life and it's like, how you said that about yourself, like you can't sway me, da da da. If I met you on a random day, I would be like, I like this person, I want to learn that from them, so I'm going to keep them in my life, you know. But I just don't respect when I watch artists and how it's like fans are so entitled to certain things with them. They're not treated to me like human beings. They're not allowed to, like, you know, it seems like certain rights when it comes to music and things like that. It just seems very messy. It doesn't seem like, you know, like I just feel like it's just like this whole like putting on a front, like we're portrayed like this, so I'm an artist, I'm a rapper, it's like this, but then it's like behind closed doors, y'all are human at the end of the day, and y'all still going through shit just like the rest of us. That check did not change anything but the big house you sitting in, to be real.
Exactly.
And it's like, for me, it's just like I have peace. When I was younger, you know, I wanted maybe more to be seen, and I don't mind being seen now because I feel confident in who I am and who I'm becoming. I'm proud of the woman I'm proud of the woman that went through all that shit. I'm proud of the woman that's sitting here right now, and I'm proud of the woman that I'm growing into. And I know that I'm gonna be. Yes. So with that being said, it's like I don't feel like I need validation from any type of fans or any type of people in general. So it's like when I make my art, I appreciate that shit in my, like, I'll dance to that shit in my room. Like, I put it out. You feel me? Like, I'm the only one that really needs to care. When I send it to my homies and my friends and, oh, this shit's so hard, that's enough for me, you know? But at the same time, it's just like, it's more or less for me to protect my privacy and my peace. Because when I start feeling disturbed, that old me start climbing up, and I'm like, I work too hard to, not to say to get away from her, because I love that person.
Essentially, you know? Still part of you.
Yeah, she's still part of me, and I love her, and when I need her, I definitely let her out. But at the end of the day, I'm not living in a state of fight or flight and survival no more. I'm living in a state of, this my soft girl era. I'm at peace. I'm a grown woman. I'm handling my shit, and nobody's gonna sit here and push me around and boss me around and try to underdog me or sun me no more. You feel me? Like, I'm handling me, and I want my peace with that. And if anything's gonna disturb my peace, it has to go. Period. Has to go. So the industry shit, I mean, I guess, like, I would say the only thing, if I feel like you kind of need it, I think, to some degree, maybe if you want to be a real artist. I do think that's valid in a sense of that. But I can't say that there's anything that I say I would like about it. You know, maybe just the opportunities it could present you. I be watching stuff all the time, and I be like, man, this could have been me. All the time, this could have been me, man. They should have put me in this show. I could have did this. But you know what? I be looking at the shit like they be going through and how people talk about them. Bro, I would have been cussing up and down, cussing people out on Twitter. I can't be doing all that, crashing out online.
Man.
So I'm like, you know what? Let me not, because y'all start saying too much stuff to me. Y'all got these artists like depressed and suicidal, changing their bodies and stuff. I'm not doing all that. Y'all not about to make me crash out.
And a lot of people do end up crashing out before they even get to the pinnacle of where they need to be.
It's like,
or where they could be.
We all are having our own problems that we still trying to overcome from when we were young. We dealing with our real life issues now and the people that are involved. And then you want me to add on 1 million people that don't even know me, never seen me a day in my life, and think that I owe them something? No. Especially, it's just like, I don't even know how sometimes, like, the way that people get treated, like how they even have the energy to create anymore. But I respect them. I respect people that, you know,
get up and do it every single day.
Get up and do it, and despite the shit that's thrown at them, they still, like, walk that shit and fucking do what they want to do what they got to do. Like, I respect that. You love what you're doing, you love your craft, or you're dedicated enough that despite all this negativities that come with it, you're willing to walk through that to do what you want to do, and I respect it. I'm not that person, because if I'm not feeling it, I'm gone. I'm definitely a leader
with no hesitation. Oh man, coming up, any new project that we should look forward to?
Okay, I've been waiting for this question. So yes, but I honestly couldn't tell you anything about it. I want to say yes, but I
The
don't want to like
anticipation.
promise anything. I definitely want to drop something this year.
Ooh.
A project, a real project, like maybe like I'm thinking 6 to 10 songs because I want to give them something. Yeah, I want to give the people something to really listen to because the sound that I feel like I'm gonna introduce, I feel like people will really love it and they'll
Oh.
really like be drawn to it. But I guess I'm also
Mhm.
making it so much because I don't know what I'm gonna do after this. You know, I guess I'm just trying to see how it'll go. But I can't say because like I said, I'm more focused on prioritizing me and getting my certain things in place. So hopefully I can get that to happen sometime this year and just take it to another level and show something new with me and what's going on. But I guess we'll just see. I don't got the name. I don't have nothing. We'll just see.
Let everyone know, where can we find you?
Okay, so you can find me on Twitter, Instagram, basically anywhere at Koy Kama. KoiKurama. Yes.
It has been wonderful talking to Miss Koy
Yes.
Kama.
Thank you.
It's Vic Ashton here, Dark Spark Energy, here for the story, not the fame.
Bye. I don't even know.